Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Viewers, you are watching this program Rehmat-e-Mehman on Raham TV. In this program, we invite important dignitaries of the community who have services in the community in different walks of life. Today, we are very fortunate to have Dr. R.U. Jafar of New York, who has a lot of services in his medical field, in the Muslim community, and not only in the Muslim community, but in in the upbringing of the whole American nation. And he is a cardiologist by profession. He is a cardiologist from Hyderabad, India. He graduated from India. Then he came to United States and he did his cardiology. And then he worked in Jamaica Hospital, and he is affiliated with a couple other hospitals. We'll learn more about it as we speak with him. But we are very fortunate today that he gave us time, because he is not only a medical doctor, he has a lot of participation in the Muslim community. He is the one who has spoken, who has represented Muslim Americans even in the White House. He has met with 8 different presidents of the United States. He's been here for a long time, and he has a lot of accomplishments, and he has done a lot for this community, and he has a lot of experience that we can learn from. How to go on in this country, what things can benefit us, what are the things we are lacking on, and what are the things we need to improve, and where do we stand today in this country. So we are very fortunate that he gave us from his very precious time. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Saab.
Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, you have a lot under your belt. You have a lot of experience as a cardiologist. I was just reading about you. You treat more than 60 conditions related to the heart. That's amazing. That's really amazing that how you have specialized in your own field. And you became a doctor in India. So would you want to tell us a little bit about when you came to the United States after you became a doctor and how you continued your studies?
I went to different schools, primary school, middle school, high school. Then I went into medical school, where I stood first in matriculation. I stood first in FSC, which is 2 years after matriculation. And when I went for the interview for admission to medical school, they said you're not eligible because you're underage. But when I appeared before the commission, they said you look very bright fellow. We will waive that condition and we'll take you.
Wow,
so that way I entered into medical school even though I was underage. And I did 5 years of medical school, got my MBBS, and then I did post-graduation in cardiology and became assistant professor of cardiology. I was about to become professor of cardiology, but for the sake of children, I decided to move to America for their better future. And looking back at it, I think that was a good decision that I took. And because of that, my children have attained very good education, and they are at a higher level in the society. My oldest son became cardiologist. He is becoming world famous now. My other son has become an attorney. My 3 daughters, one of them is a dental surgeon, and all 3 daughters are married to doctors, cardiologists, neurologists, and internists, and mashallah, all of them are doing good financially and religiously, and I'm happy that I took the right step.
MashaAllah, that's a big achievement. You completed all your education in Hyderabad and here with all flying colors. And you were from very beginning, like you said, you were God gifted, and how you finish all your education levels and how you make your kids successful. So, mashallah, viewers, Dr. Saab is a very prominent personality, and as you can see how successful he was throughout his life, and he made all his kids successful, but his services did not stop here. He went on in servicing the Muslim community, and in that department he worked on the education of our Muslims here in New York, and he built the first ever high school for the kids, Crescent High School, and that's founded by him. That's a big contribution. We would want to learn a little bit about more of this school. So Dr. Saab, how old is this school and how did you think about it?
The school is 25 years old. I started the school with 22 kids in the basement of a masjid, and later on, mashallah, it progressed and we have 250 students. We bought a beautiful building for $4 million, and the kids who graduated from here have become doctors, engineers, IT technicians, and they are doing very good financially, and they are in very good positions in this country. As I said, when I came to this country, I did 3 years of internship and residency at Jamaica Hospital. Then I did 2-year fellowship at Cornell, which is a famous medical school. And I'm in practice since almost 35 years. And mashallah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Apostle Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I have saved a lot of lives in this country.
MashaAllah. That's a good.
And after establishing myself financially and in the community, I thought I should do something for the Muslim community, especially when I saw the vulgarities going on in the public school, like homosexuality, premarital sex, drug, stabbing, etc. I thought I should establish a school for Muslim kids, especially for the girls, to save them from this vulgarity. And I'm glad that I made the right decision and established a good school, which is the highest school, which is the only high school in Nassau County.
MashaAllah. Viewers, MashaAllah, as you have heard, Dr. Saab is a very prominent figure in the community, and he is a blessing for us. Actually, he is a blessing for us, who does not only think about himself. You would see a lot of successful people amongst us. You would see doctors, but especially a personality like him, who is not only thinking about himself but also paying back to the community. And indeed, this Crescent High School is a very big contribution which has been going on for 25 years. And this is not just a regular school, it meets the standards. And like he said, the graduates of this school have attained the highest level of education. They have become doctors and cardiologists and IT specialists and so forth. What else do you need having a school like this, which has not only preserves the values of our religion and gives you this higher level of education? So that indeed is a very good service. So Dr. Saab, as you were saying before, that when you came to this country and after establishing yourself, you worked for the upbringing of the community in terms of education and politics. So why did you think about politics here?
Actually, I did things in stages. First, after entering into this country, you have to go through the mill. I finished my education, got the highest education, established myself financially, and had a good practice and reputation. And then after that, I thought I should save the Muslim kids, which I did by establishing the Crescent School. After having done all these things, I looked at the Muslims who were in a very bad state in the whole world, especially in this country. We have about 8 million Muslims in this country. They were not united. They used to fight with each other, and they had no position politically in this country.
System, okay.
So I started myself getting involved in politics, and mashallah, I met many presidents, and that way I helped Muslims. When I told the presidents like Clinton and Obama, I told them we are 8 million Muslims, we are the biggest minority in this country. They were surprised. They said, where are they? Are they registering themselves? And I had to cut a very sorry figure because Muslims don't register. Some of the ulama says that it is haram to register yourself politically. But still, I pushed myself, I went on and tried my best. I met those presidents. I met President Clinton at least 6-7 times, and he told me to bring 10 Muslim leaders. So I took Muslim leaders into the White House, into the Rose Garden, where even the bird cannot fly. He met all of them, including black Muslims and others, and he was signing something into law, and he was very happy to meet them. After that, I met Obama. I was with him at least for 4 hours, and I told him the condition of this Muslim and that the Muslims are a political force and we should all try to please them and involve them into the political process.
MashaAllah. It's a blessing to have somebody like you. You represented 8 million Muslims of this country in front of the different presidents. So you met Mr. Clinton, and you said you met Mr. Obama. So which of these presidents you find more favorable towards the Muslims?
Actually, I do not want to mention, but there are other communities which have become very strong politically, even though they are less in number than Muslims, but they have greater influence at the highest level. So I am trying to bring the Muslims up and push them into the political process, and at some future date, inshallah, they will become a mighty force and influence the politics in this country.
Okay, so Dr. Saab, do you have a platform there where our viewers can join and they can participate in this kind of efforts that you are making in political system of this country?
I go to different Muslim organizations, tell them the importance of registering themselves and vote and show their strength. And Muslims in America are slowly waking up, and inshallah in future they will be a big political force.
The way you say slowly waking up now, they're kind of awake, you think?
As I said, some of the Muslims, they say registering yourself and voting for non-Muslims is haram in Islam, and I don't agree with them. Slowly I am trying to change their views, and I think they are falling in line slowly.
Yeah, as you know, our respected Sheikh Maulana Mufti Muneer Ahmad Akhund Sahab, he has given the fatwa that it is not haram not to vote. When you live in this country and you have a voice to better this country, you should utilize it. So now the things are changing. People are taking that influence. It's very influential. So what do you want to say about how do you compare him with other Muslim leaders that you have met?
I met Maulana many times, and I have told him that I met many presidents like Reagan and Nixon and other presidents. They gave me gold medal, they gave me Medal of Freedom and others. But I told him that when compared to Maulana, I am more impressed with Maulana than all those presidents.
Wow, amazing. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. That's a really beautiful words for him, and we really appreciate the regard that you gave him for his personality. Indeed, he is a very open-minded, and his days and nights are spent thinking how he can join all the Muslims on one platform. And viewers, like he was saying, he got different medals. Here are some of those. You would be able to see them in a close shot. So this is the medal you got from
Nixon, Reagan.
Mr. Nixon. Wow. So that's many years ago. So viewers, this is his another achievement by Mr. Ronald Reagan, another one. So amazing. So this is another one from, this is also from Reagan?
The Republican Party.
Republican Party. So Dr. Saab, you are registered as a Republican or a Democrat?
I am a registered Republican, but I will go with anybody who is good for the country, either Democratic or Republican.
That's a good spirit of citizenship, patriotism. So you go with whoever is better. So now you think Republicans are more better for the country?
Donald Trump has become president. He looks like an extremist to the right, but hopefully he will come to the center and change his views. If I ever meet him, I will tell him to mellow down and come to the center.
Come to the center. So are you planning to take a big group of people again with you like you did?
If I get invited, if they ever call me, I will gladly go there.
I see there is some pictures that you have with different presidents. If you allow, maybe I can see it and share it with the viewers. It's very hard to find people like him. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us such a personality who represents and who cares for us as a Muslim nation. So Dr. Saab, you have this. That's his meeting with Mr. Clinton. And it is said, it is very, it is openly said that you have a lot of input in stopping, in saving the Bosnian Muslims in the time of Mr. Clinton. Do you want to share something about?
You know what happened to Bosnia. Serbia was killing Bosnia, and you remember in Srebrenica 10,000 young Muslims fighting in their underwear in cold weather, they were slaughtered, and thousands of Muslim girls were raped. And I thought I should do something about it. We had big processions in Manhattan, 10,000-15,000 people shouting, Serbia, Serbia, you will see, Bosnia will be free. We even protested in front of the embassy of Serbia, but I saw that things were not working. And I thought I should sit down with the president and try to convince him to do something. As I said, I met Clinton many times, but this time I was looking for another opportunity to sit down with him. One day there was fundraising in Manhattan. I was invited. I was sitting there. President Clinton came towards me to shake hand with me and to thank me, and I was ready. And I told him, you promised that the very first day of your presidency you will start bombing Serbia. What happened to your promise? He said, Doc, I'm trying my best. You know, he was the president like of the whole world. I had to be a little polite, and I said, no, you didn't keep your promise. And I had a beautiful letter, very sensational letter, in which I showed that 10,000 Muslims were killed in Srebrenica, Muslim girls were being raped every day. He took that letter, put it in his pocket, and other people on the dais were giving speeches. He kept looking at that letter again and again, and I saw the tears in his eyes, and that convinced him to save Bosnia. And next day, bombing started in Serbia, and that saved Bosnia. And the two drug lords and the president of Bosnia, they have been arrested by international court now. One of them died, and the other one is also dying.
MashaAllah, you have a great service in saving such a big nation, Bosnian Muslims. And indeed, they are, so you think they are very kind-hearted, but somebody has to put the word out, somebody has to outreach them and tell them what's going on and work with the system. Here are some of the other pictures that you have. This is with President Obama, MashaAllah. So this looks pretty recent. This is his first term or this is his second term?
First time. One day I got a call to come and meet Obama. He came to Manhattan, and he was giving speeches in the Apollo Theater. I was invited. I met them. I was with him almost 4 hours, and I explained to him that we are the biggest minority in this country, about 8 million. He was surprised. He said, are they registering? Where are they? And I had to cut a sorry figure because American Muslims are still not completely convinced to register and show their strength. At one time, sword was the mightiest thing, but today, your vote is the mightiest thing. God has given you an opportunity to show your strength peacefully and influence this country.
So, like you said, this is the second time you were told that where are they? They are surprised by our big number. But we need to register and participate in the political system because this is our power, and everybody keeps saying that. Everybody comes coming back and saying, "Where are you? You have to show up on your votes." So we are 8 million, and how many of you think are on their system?
Probably I will say less than 30%. Some of the ulama are saying that registering and voting for non-Muslims is haram. I'm trying to convince them to understand the reality and register yourself, because you have to show your strength and you have to be united.
Actually, what I have heard from Sheikh Mufti Munir Ahmad Khun Sahab is that for the ruling purposes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only looking for the justice, because Iman is going to dictate how your destiny is going to be after we leave this world. But the justice is going to determine how well you can rule in this world. So how do you comment on this?
I think it is our duty as a Muslim to use our strength and try to convince them that we also exist in this country and they have to look to our side also and help us. After doing my political work and trying to influence the leaders, I started another venture, which was, one of them was only one creator, OOC,
OOC, yes,
and
I
the
think.
other one is World Without the Borders.
Okay, so this is.
Either you accept that there is one God, I don't accept that God exists. Once you accept that God exists, there has to be only one and one creator. If there are 10 of them, they'll be fighting in the sky with F-15 and F-16, and their blood will be dripping. The other organization I started was World Without Borders. Like in United States, we have 52 states. They don't have any borders restraining admission to each other. For example, California does not have any border against New York. Chicago does not have any border with Texas, and they live together happily and together, and everybody practices their own religion. Same way, if we have the world without any borders, we don't have to use the worst type of ammunition like atomic bombs and other, which can destroy the world 10 times over.
Well, I really like this idea that world without borders and only one creator. And then with this ideology, we can all unite on one platform because our needs are same. With as a human being, our needs are same, and being a creation of one God, again, our responsibilities are the same. So, and with that type of ideology, I think it becomes very necessary for us to vote and look for justice. Because also in our religion, we are not really looking for a Muslim ruler, we are looking for a just ruler. That's why our Prophet also said, "As-sultanu dhillullahi fil ard," that the ruler is the shadow of God on the earth. So even our Prophet did not say the king, this ruler has to be Muslim. It never comes "As-sultanul muslimu." It only says "As-sultanu dhillullahi fil ard," that we need to find a just ruler who is going to be the shadow of Allah on this earth. So with that ideology, I think that our Muslims should unite and vote, and 30% is again a very low number. This, if as this number grows, our strength grows, and things would come out better for us. Today we are worried that the rulers of this country are thinking negative about us. So Dr. Sahab, they are thinking so negative about us. So what is really that we lack today? We should inculcate in ourselves to come out better.
Compared to our whole Muslim Ummah, the Muslim community in the whole world is not much educated. If you go to other countries, they don't know what is happening in America and the whole world. They live in their world and they are doing very bad things, which is bringing bad name to the Muslim community. Few people here and there, they throw bombs. It is not going to help us in any way. They have to educate themselves, and as I mentioned, they have to unite all over the world together, and especially in USA, they have to register and show their strength and tell them that we are very peaceful people. Some people are destroying the name of the Muslim Ummah, but Muslim religion is entirely a very peaceful religion.
But we are not able to project the peace because we don't have that power. And once we have the power in this country, we'll be able to project that peace. You think it would bring a positive change in the whole world?
Yes, I think so.
I think this is a good lesson for everybody, that we should strive building our strength, because only peace does not mean anything until you can, if you have a power to deliver it. So viewers, it's a very interesting talk that's going on, special advices. So we'll continue after a short break, and stay with us. We'll be right back.